So I started pissing, and as I was pissing, that shit started draining into another cell. I was like, damn it. And all I heard was, motherfucker. I woke up to this dude fucking screaming, let me out, let me out. I've had enough, let me out. And as I'm looking at this dude's butthole, I just started laughing. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Like, what is this, right? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to share some stories with you guys from when I went through SERE school. If you guys aren't familiar with what SERE school is, it's a course that every special forces operators and even some big army folks have to go through in order to be able to serve within special operations, right? I had some interesting stories, some interesting experiences within my SERE school alone, right? So I wanted to share a couple of them with you, right? It's the New Year's, all right? Hopefully you guys get a good laugh out of this. Start the year off right. Now this first one, I remember we were evading for a couple of days, and we got to the point in the course where we got wrapped up and taken to a specific location. Now once we got to that location, guys, we went admin, right? Admin just means that there's a break in training to where cadres had certain things that they had to do. This pause in training, or this admin pause, was due to medical reasons, right? We were out there in the woods for a couple of days. They brought us in. Now they want to do some medical checks to make sure that we were all okay. My class had approximately 60 dudes, right? So they broke us down into sections. My section had 15 guys in it. Once we got where we were supposed to go at this final destination, we changed out of clothing and we had some different type of clothing on, right? So they put us in like this extended physical fitness formation, right? To where we had room to actually move, right? They extended us. So I remember standing there, 15 of us, and the cadres at this point, they're, just cadres. They're not in scenario. They had us drop our pants. So we're like, what the fuck's going on, right? So we dropped our pants and they had us bent over at the waist. So bent over at the waist, right? And at this point, I'm looking at a dude's ass in front of me. And then they were like, hey, grab your butt cheeks and spread them. So we grabbed our butt cheeks and we spread them. I remember thinking to myself like, this is really happening, right? This is what I signed up for. Like, what the heck am I doing here, right? And as I'm looking at this dude's butthole, I just started laughing. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Like, what is this, right? And as I came out of my head for a while, I started hearing everybody else doing the same thing. I don't know if we were all just delirious or what was going on, but everybody else was laughing, right? Because everybody else was thinking the same thing. Like, what in the world is this? Like, what is going on here, right? This is not what we signed up for. And of course, cadres were doing it because we were out in the woods for a while and they were doing tick checks, right? They wanted to make sure nobody had ticks in their assholes, right? So we're expecting each other's assholes. And if there was a tick, we would, hey, Sergeant, this dude's got a tick in his ass. And then, cadre would come take the tick out of his ass, right? So I know why they were doing it, but I was still like, this is some crazy ass shit right here, right? And next to me was a fucking medic, and he's just standing there, just staring at this dude's butthole intensely, and I'm like, you fucking weirdo, like, really, right? But yeah, guys, that was the first experience within SERE school, right? Pretty fucking hilarious one. Moving on to the second story, guys. So this one, we're fast forwarding within the scenario itself, right? I remember we had this fucking monster of a dude, crush everything physically, smart dude, and at this point, we're within scenario. They had this iteration where they, put dudes away for a little bit, right? So they put me in this little fucking box, and I swear to God, as soon as they closed the latch, dude, I was out. Like 45 minutes uninterrupted sleep. I was done. I was that tired, right? And I woke up to this dude fucking screaming, let me out, let me out. I've had enough, let me out. So I'm like, what in the world is going on, right? I'm pissed because this dude just interrupted my sleep, right? I was sleeping good. So now I'm awake and I'm hearing all this unfolding because his little box was right next to mine. And come to find out, he was claustrophobic, right? So now he's screaming at the top of his lungs. He couldn't fucking handle that shit. So, of course, you got guys in scenarios fucking with him, right? But it was so bad to where Cadre had to go admin. They were like, hey, man, this is so first class such and such. Like, what's going on? He was like, hey, I'm done. Get me out of this box. I've had enough. So Cadre was like, so are you quitting? He was like, yep, fuck it, I'm done. This dude threw away selection, threw away SUT, threw away everything he's done so far, right? Because he couldn't handle being in the box. So he was like, I'm fucking done. Once he told Cadre he wanted to quit, Cadre went back into role and they kept him in there a little bit longer, right? So throughout the entire course, they kept fucking with him because they knew exactly what his weakness was. So fast forward, we're done with that course, we're done with SERE school, and we moved on to MOS, and that dude was gone. Because what they did was, since he quit, once he got done with the course, they relieved him because he technically quit. And I'm like, man, he did all that for nothing because they kept putting him in that small ass box the entire course, right? Just to send him home once we were done, right? Goes to show you guys, it doesn't matter how big, how strong you are. Everybody has their weaknesses. The moral of the story is to overcome it, right? Guys, story number 3, right? So I remember, again, fast forward later on within the scenario, they put me in this little freaking cage, right? It's like a little small prison cell. Now, every chance I got doing SERE school asleep, I slept. So for this particular scenario, right, they put me in this little cell, tiny fucking cell. I couldn't stand up, right? I was hunched over. And I'm like, shit, I fell asleep, right? I was done. Another 45 minutes down, right? And I remember waking up and I had to pee like nobody's business. I had to go. And I was like, oh, I'm not calling Cadre. Nope, not doing that. Because I don't want him to come mess with me, right? I don't want to come, shit, I'm not trying to draw any attention to myself. So I'm like, okay, this cell's a decent size. If I pee over here, I can technically still sleep right over here in this corner. So I'm like, all right, bet, this is what I'm going to do. I went to that corner and I drained the main vein, right? I started pissing. This segment is brought to you by GreenBeretChronicles.com, guys. I have several different products on there for you guys. I have a prep course if you're interested in going to Special Forces selection and assessment. Then I have the workout program that I put together for you guys, Body by Jay. While you're on there, guys, make sure you visit the Green Beret Chronicles shop where you have several different t-shirts, to include this one that I have on here right now, guys, along with the running and gunning one. And then you also have patches and stickers on there, all right? And then I also have the SFAS purchase list as far as things you can purchase from Amazon that's going to help you out at SFAS. I will link all of that below for you guys, all right? And again, the last 2 are free. My gift to you to help you get selected. With all that said, guys, let's get back to the episode. And I was, on a slight uphill. Right? So I started pissing, and as I was pissing, that shit started draining into another cell. And I was like, damn it. And all I heard was, motherfucker. So there was another dude sleeping in another cell. And all the piss that was in my cell drained into his. And I was like, oh shit, my bad, man. So he had piss all over him, and I'm like, God, man, I felt so bad. But you got to do what you got to do, right? When you got to go, you got to go. If that dude's watching right now, you know who you are. My bad, man. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to come on here and share some stories with you guys, right? Kick off 2024, right? All right, make sure you guys are smiling. Make sure you guys are crushing it. Make sure you guys are handling business as usual, all right? I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.